When it comes to monthly pay-per-views, you're coming off from a very high pay-per-view that is taking place, especially one of a very notable wrestling company that held like one of the big four pay-per-view. And sometimes you completely forgot the other company's upcoming pay-per-view. Well, that just happened to me. It's probably because like coming back from Philly for WrestleMania weekend, like not too long ago, I somewhat forgot about the AEW pay-per-view that's happening. That's right, AEW Dynasty. So today's video, we're doing a prediction video for AEW Dynasty, and I'm recording this on a Friday morning before, AEW Rampage and Collision is airing, but good thing the pay-per-view is on Sunday, so that way I can able to watch it and whatnot. But anyway, before I get started with everything, hi, how are you doing? I'm Sienna SC Chanel. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for notification of when I'll be dropping new videos in a long forum or even on a short. Also, make sure to like and comment this video and share, and plus follow me on all social info. Description is in the description bar, but anyway, but for today's video, I just wanted to give a huge shout out for today's sponsor. So take it away, bestie. Today's sponsorship of this video is brought to you by SeatGeek. So I know there's going to be a lot of like sporty events, concerts, festivals, events, and everything that's going on. And I know that due to the state of this economy, ticket pricing are going into high. But with SeatGeek.com, it's a ticket website where the prices are very reasonable, and especially they have like the color coding system to make sure of like the pricing of the ticket is good, and also with like the seat view as well. Now then, I got a code for y'all. So for first time user of SeatGeek, I'll give you my promo code if you use Sienna Chanel, and you'll save $20 off of your first SeatGeek purchase. So all I can say is use SeatGeek.com. If you can able to get the ticket, use that code, and then you'll be good to go. Available on the website and on the app. So thank you, SeatGeek, for sponsoring this video. Alright, now let's get down to each of the matches for Dynasty. And I'm going to say this, I'm really looking forward to some of the matches, even though there's some, they just put it out of nowhere. But like each of the storyline felt is like pretty much short-term, long-tour, or just rush. And that's why I kind of forget about like, some of the storyline and just throw it up together. But I'm going to say this before I go even further. So just as a disclaimer, I watch AEW. I'm rooting for the company's success and I love the product. But there comes in time where like you're very questionable about like, what AEW is doing behind the scenes, especially their business practices and whatnot. And so this is based on my viewpoint and my opinion. So I just wanted to make a disclaimer for all of that, all right? But anyway, so we got 12 matches total. I hope the pay-per-view is not hella long. But let's go ahead and run down to it. We're just going to start off with the 0-hour pre-show matches. So first one is, of course, the winner takes all match for both the AEW Trios Champion and the ROH World Six-Man Tag Team Champion between the current champ from AEW Trios Champion, The Acclaim, versus from the Ring of Honor six-person tag, Bullet Club Gold. And oh my god, this is gonna be pretty interesting to see. At least they've been feuding for quite some time. I mean, they've had like a short alliance trying to call themselves the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. It's pretty hilarious, especially seeing the reunion briefly of course, the Ass Boys and their dad, of course, Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass. Bullet Club Gold turn on them, and the Acclaim, they're very tired of all of this together. So for my pick of this match, I mean, originally I just want to go for the Acclaim, but then since this is a winner takes all match, I'm going with Bullet Club Gold. So that's what I'm gonna go for, and that way Bullet Club Gold, they can definitely do something for both brand Ring of Honor and AEW, and they're pretty quite entertaining. But anywho, let's move on to the next match. It's a singles match between the newly healed Trent Beretta versus Matt Sydal. That match has been thrown out. I think it's just for Rampage or whichever the case would be. I mean, like I said, I don't pay too much attention for Rampage and Collision because that's where at work or getting off from work, and then your girl is tired and all that. But From Trent turning on best friend and being a heel of his own, it is a right move for him. So for my obvious pick, I'm going with Trent Beretta to beat Matt Sydal. Next up is a tag team match between the team of Orange Cassidy and Kazuchika Shibata versus Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Now I'm going to say this. I'm very happy that Shane Taylor and his crew is getting more TV time, especially on AEW. And honestly, we haven't seen Anthony Ogogo for like forever, y'all. Like, the last time I could remember is like his match against Cody Rhodes, and that was during the pandemic era of AEW. I would say like 2021. I could be wrong, but you know, that is the last time I see Anthony Ogogo. I'm glad that we did see him and now being part of the Shane Taylor promotion. I know that Shane Taylor, he's trying to hone his craft within the Ring of Honor brand, and I'm glad he did recruit Lee Moriarty as well. So I'm very excited to see him on TV. Very notable in the indies as well. Now, with Orange Cassidy teaming with Shibata, Orange Cassidy is part of Chaos, but that's like a, you know, strong ally with Shibata. And with everything that's imploded, he's looking for someone to be the ally. And this match is like kind of like thrown off, you know, last minute and all that. But for my pick, I'm going to go with Orange and Shibata to win. So this is it for the 0 Hour pre-show. Let's go ahead and go to the main card. This is going to be in no particular order because this is from what I'm looking through on Wikipedia, y'all. So first up you have is a trio match between House of Black versus the team of Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe, aka Rated Chicken Hawk. Now, brief feud going on between Adam Copeland and also House of Black, mainly with Adam and Brody King. Especially Adam is now the AEW TNT champion. There's a lot of thread going on. But then he's like recruiting Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe. Mind you, Eddie Kingston is the current New Japan Strong Heavyweight Champion, and Mark Briscoe is the new ROH World Heavyweight Champion, which, by the way, I was there live in Philly, and Mark and Eddie's match in the main event was so emotional. It was so good, and I'm so happy for Mark for winning the title. So you got all three champions from Perspective brand facing off against one of the very notorious faction in AEW, House of Black. For my pick, I'm gonna go with Rated Chicken Hawk. Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe. So I gotta make sure to write that down. Hopefully we'll get a few going on down the line with Adam Copeland defending his TNT champion. Maybe against Malachi Black. Please. We need Malachi Black as a singles champion, but we'll see. Anyway, next up you have is the FTW rules match for the FTW championship match between the current champ Hook versus, of course, the Lionheart Chris Jericho. This has been kind of a very interesting storyline going on between Hook and Chris Jericho. I mean, they were alliance, and Jericho wanted to be like the teacher to Hook. Everything about the storyline seems to be complicated at best, but, you know, it is what it is. But I'm just going to go right away. I'm going with Hook to retain a title. I mean, no questions asked. And then next up, you have the AEW International Championship match between the current champ representing Undisputed Kingdom, Roderick Strong, versus Kyle O'Reilly. Who? There has been a lot of history going on between both of these gentlemen. I mean, remember Undisputed Era, and of course, being part of Undisputed Elite. And things been folded since Kyle O'Reilly has been out with an injury for like nearly a good year or so. And then like when he's back, he refused to join the Undisputed Kingdom. So now there has been kind of like a shift going on between Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and pretty much Kyle O'Reilly and the rest of the members of Undisputed Kingdom. So for my pick, I mean, he just won the title like not too long ago. I'm going with Roderick Strong to retain a title and then have Kyle O'Reilly just continue on with a feud with like each of the member of the Undisputed Kingdom. And once Adam Cole is clear, there you had it. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. But anyway, next up you have is the AEW TBS Championship match, House Rules match between the current champ Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. So I'm looking forward to which house rules that's going to be taking place. But this feud has been going on forever between Julia Hart and Willow Nightingale. I mean, there was a lot going on with Willow and Chris, and then Julia and Sky Blue. Everything about the storyline is perfect, but then when it comes to Halt, you have is the CEO Mercedes Moné coming into the picture. Now, mind you, I'm okay with Mercedes Moné. I'm actually a fan of her. Sorry, Ray, but like having Mercedes Moné coming into this storyline picture. But I understand there's history going on because Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale did face off against each other for the New Japan Strong Women's Champion that took place last year. And unfortunately, Mercedes got injured and Willow won the New Japan Strong Women's Champion before she lost to Julia. But there has been a lot of retribution going on. And with Mercedes Moné, she said, like, whoever wins the TBS Women's Champion, they're going to have to face off against Mercedes Moné at AEW's Double or Nothing. And I'm very conflicted by this because, like, this storyline between Julia and Willow has been perfect. And then having Mercedes in the mix, I understand she was trying to be an ally to help Willow. But then there's tensions going on between both of them, while Mercedes is still having a tension going on with Julia Hart and Sky Blue because, Mercedes Moné, she is a CEO. She doesn't want anyone to interfere her business. I mean, faces. When it comes to business, you do not intervene, okay? Especially making a transaction or whichever the case would be. I'm going to have to say this. No matter what's going to happen, hopefully the fans will be happy or, being disappointed, whichever. But for my pick, I'm just going to go out of the way around. I'm going to go with Julia Hart to retain the title so that way she can face off against Mercedes Moné. Because if you have Willow Nightingale to be the new TBS Women's Champion, and if she faces off against Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing, Mercedes is going to win the TBS Women's Champion because you know how AEW is, they're pushing her super hard to be the champion, which honestly to say, like, I'd rather see Mercedes Moné be the AEW Women's Champion. But I don't know how everything's going to be folded, though. I mean, I'll be cool with Willow Nightingale winning, but then it's going to be a disappointing afterthought because, like, Willow's going to be losing the title to Mercedes Moné at the next AEW pay-per-view. Let's just hope with AEW, they're going to make the right decision when it comes to this whole booking aspect, too. And that is one thing that I wish AEW would slightly been improved, too, is the booking. And especially the women's division itself. But anyway, I'm going with Julia Hart to retain the TBS Women's Champion. And who knows what's going to be happening with the House Rules match. Anyway, next up, you have the AEW Continental Championship match between the current champ, Kazuchika Okada, versus Pac. I'm looking forward to this match. It's, like, going to be so brutal. But it's going to be amazing. Especially there has been a brief feud going on with Okada and Pac. But it's no-brainer because Okada did win the title at the AEW show in Boston a couple weeks back. So, yeah. So, anyway, Okada to retain the title. So, enough said. Next up, we have is the tournament final ladders match for the vacant AEW World Tag Team Championship match between the Young Bucks versus FTR. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm actually not looking forward to this matchup. Especially finding out that who won in the semifinals. I wish it would have been like an upcoming tag teams or anything that is not the Young Bucks. Because face it, the Young Bucks already been winning tag team titles before. Same thing with FTR, but I'm actually cool with FTR. But I'd rather see like a new talent would be the one that's going to go into the finals. Now, here's the thing too, with this build-up, it actually leaves a bad taste in my mouth because as y'all know, a week ago, that's where they put the storyline into the actual footage of what happened at All In regarding CM Punk and Jack Perry. And honestly, to say, this whole footage is like a huge distraction to not only this matchup, but also this pay-per-view itself. Because honestly, for me, I feel that putting the footage out there, it's pretty much unprofessional at best, especially when it comes to the company itself, too. So, I'm actually not looking forward to this match. I think this is coming from me, and I hate to say it. This is a match that I would just, grab dinner or just, like, go use the restroom or anything like that. But this is just coming from me. as much as I am a fan of FTR and the Young Bucks, it is a hit or miss for me too. But this is coming from me and my own perspective too, because with everything that's been folded ever since the whole footage, it's just flatten it out, and especially with the tag team tournaments too. But for my pick, hopefully they better win those tag titles. I want to see FTR winning. I really don't want to see the Young Bucks win the tag titles, because if they win the tag titles, I mean, it's actually not going to be looking good for the tag team division, but also the company itself too. So I'm going with FTR. But anyway, next up you have the AEW Women's World Championship between the current champ Timeless Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. And this is a pretty much a quite storytelling in the making too. I mean, you have like feuds from Toni Storm, Mariah May, but also like with Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. And if I say feud between Toni and Mariah, it's not yet, but you know that Mariah May is following up with Toni Storm being the young protege as she is. And I love the fact that Mariah May did dress up as Toni Storm when she first debuted in AEW. I love it so much. But then there's one person you gotta add to the mix about it. Stardom's own Mina Shirakawa. Honestly, I feel with this match, it is no-brainer because I want Thunder Rosa to just go on with her feud with Deonna Purrazzo. And then Toni Storm can continue on with that storyline with Mariah May. And then hopefully when Mina Shirakawa is coming back to the United States, that's where you're going to be establishing the feud between Toni and Mina. Hopefully at Forbidden Door. Even though it's like a few months away. But that would be like a good start of a slow build-up for Toni and Mina. Especially for the title. I mean, I don't mind it. So I'm going to go with Timeless Toni Storm to retain the title. So that way everything will be folded within each of the storyline altogether. But anyway, next up, you have is a singles match that is like a dream match that we're all waiting for. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to this matchup ever since that Will Ospreay did issue, his promo, like when he went to Collision after he got signed to AEW and all that stuff. And then when he went to Collision, he said like he wanted to face off against a noteworthy opponent. Out comes the American Dragon, representing Blackpool Combat Club, Bryan Danielson. Besides that snarky promo that he did cut last week, especially taking a shot of WWE, but regardless, this is going to be an absolute banger of a match. But for my pick, I'm just going to go another way around. I'm going with Bryan Danielson to beat Will Ospreay. I mean, Will Ospreay has like a pretty good winning streak, but why not lose? And plus, Bryan Danielson did defeat Okada at last year's Forbidden Door. And that way he can continue on with Bryan Danielson to hone his craft and his reputation and whatnot. But that's all I gotta say. And lastly, you have the main event match, AEW World Championship match between the current champions Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. Now, this is a match I'm actually really looking forward to the most. Good storytelling, good back and forth, especially the promo. Everything about it, I freaking love it. And I think it's now time to make history. So that way, Samoa Joe will drop the title, and I'm going to go with Swerve Strickland to be the new AEW World Championship match. And this is going to be solidifying history in the making too within the company. So, yep, simple as that. Now I'm going to go over one more time for my picks. So, here we go for the 0 Hour pre-show match. The winner takes all match. I'm going with Bullet Club Gold to be the new AEW Trios Champion and retain the ROH 6-man Tag Team Champion over the Acclaim. Then I got Trent over Matt Sydal. And last of the 0 Hour pre-show match, I got Orange Cassidy and Shibata over Shane Taylor Promotion. Now the main card. Now for the trios match, I got Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, and Mark Briscoe over the House of Black. The FTW rules match for the FTW Championship match, I got Hook to retain over Chris Jericho. Now the house rules match for the AEW TBS Women's Championship match, I got Julia Hart to retain over Willow Nightingale so she can face Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. Then the AEW Continental Championship match, I got Kazuchika Okada over Pac. Then the vacant AEW World Tag Team Championship Tournament Finals ladder match, I got FTR over the Young Bucks. Then for the AEW Women's World Championship match, I got Timeless Tony Storm over Thunder Rosa. Then for the co-main event, I got Bryan Danielson over Will Ospreay. And for the AEW World Championship match, I got Swerve Strickland over Samoa Joe. Now, that's it for the predictions video for AEW's Dynasty. This is a pretty fun prediction video. Whatever happens, happens. Hopefully, they better deliver it. But who knows? Anything can happen. So anyway, you guys, what do you think of this? You have your picks and everything. Comment down below, like this video, and share. And make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for when I'll be dropping new videos, if it's a long forum or on YouTube Shorts. Also, make sure to follow me on all social media. All the info will be in the description bar below. And I want to say thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. And that's it, y'all. But anyway, this is your girl, Sienna SC Chanel, and hope y'all have a good rest of your weekend or whichever the case would be, all right? Take care and etc., y'all.